VIP offers, how we can look at it, how we can see it as part of our big picture, and how we can be hybrid about it. So it's flexible and it's not the only thing you do, and it's not, you don't do it at all. How we can enjoy both worlds, basically. So why do we do VIP offers? What's the point of VIP offers? And there's three main things that are the advantage or are the beautiful thing in VIP. The first thing is cash injection. We're building a business, we're building a scalable business. We want to start having cash in the business so we can scale, so we can hire, so we can spend on ads, so we can test, and so we can breathe in and take the time to build our program and our scalable program properly. So we don't need to rush things and we don't need to feel stressed. The second thing is your VIP clients will be your best muses, will be your best clients. So what they need, everyone else will need either now or along the way. Either in the group right now, they need what the VIP needs, or it's predicting the future or starting to build yourself more towards where the more advanced clients are. And that comes into up-leveling yourself. So when you only work with groups, when you only work with your group and you only work with the day-to-day delivery or the once-a-week delivery, you might fall into this circular trap of being in the same place and doing the same things and being with the same type of teachings. And the VIPs, I love to see them as they come here into your presence, you help them, and they help you up-level yourself. They help you challenge yourself to step into the next version of yourself. And that comes in every format. Even Tony Robbins has VIP clients who are challenging for him at his level. So we always strive to move forwards with our coaching capacity, with our leadership abilities, and we always want to work with the ones who are challenging us. So in terms of offers, I want you to think of only two offers. Until now, we talked only about group offer and we said only group offer to not confuse. And now we've built this group concept. And now we're adding the VIP component here. So we have the group offer and the VIP offer, and the price of those two is related. So for the group offer, the best from all of the experience of also people that we talk to is 3 months. So it's not too long, not too short. It's between 1.5 to 3.5K and it's scalable. The point of the group is that it's going to be scalable and you want to impact thousands of people. You want to grow your impact. So you want your group offer to be able to hold 80, 100, 200 people in that group. The VIP offer is more of the upsell, is more of the ones who ask or say, hey, I don't want to work with groups, or hey, I feel I'm much more advanced than what you have here in this group offer. Do you have anything else for me? And we limit it. This is the Ferrari. This is the luxurious experience that is limited, that you have only 2 slots, for example. And once you fill in those spots and you work with 2 people, or let's say max 5 people, you work with 5 people at the same time, and someone says, hey, I wish to work with you in the VIP, you need to say, yeah, actually my 5 slots are full right now, but we can put you in the wait list. And that creates this ability to see yourself as the resource that is limited and to get the price higher. And the price for the group offer, the VIP offer, should be around between 2 to 3 times of the group offer. So if you're having the group offer for 2K, the VIP can be 4K, 6K, something in that range of the difference. Yeah, anything you want to add for this? Now it comes with some warnings. So when I met Daria was all into VIP, all into getting higher and higher in the pricing. And I also see many of those high ticket coaches who come to us and they feel stuck. And it comes with a big warning, and I want you to listen carefully to this. So the first thing is that we want to build a freedom business. We want to scale our impact. We want to be here building something that we leave as a legacy to our children. So our children have company or whatever we create as a shift in transformation for people. We don't need to all the time do delivery, but we can scale and we can start going on bigger stages. We can take space and write our book. We can collaborate with other people and create more projects. Maybe in the future, you want to build a school. Who knows where your path goes? You cannot keep going on this journey of focusing on other people's businesses. And when you take a VIP client, that's basically what you do, or other people's specific circumstance. As you are, let's say you are doing breathwork facilitation and embodiment, and you work with one person, you're all devoted and you're all into that one person when they are in this VIP offering. They have access to you. You don't really get the same amount of time to focus on your business, which means you don't really build real marketing systems. The VIP is more, okay, many VIP coaches or maybe high ticket coaches go and do high ticket outreach on LinkedIn or hyper targeting marketing or maybe with referrals, but it seems, oh, I'm having great time bringing people into my world. So I'll just postpone a little bit building my marketing. I'll just postpone a little bit building the tedious, more elaborate systems of funnels and ads and all of that. And then eventually you have money coming in and nothing is built in your business. And then you have more money coming in and nothing is built in your business, which can lead to a lot of stress. We had some times where we had suddenly 20K coming in, and then after a month, something happened and that person was shaken by the universe. And suddenly we were all this, we said, okay, we have this with this planned in our budget, and we started hiring people and we started, but suddenly, okay, that is gone. That was extremely stressful. And even when you have, let's say now you have a few people coming and taking VIP spots, but there might be a time, there might be a space where you don't have more of those. So it doesn't create this beautiful flow of leads coming in, and that can be really stressful. As I said, no time to really build your business, even though it is your business, but it's not like building a group and then recording and then doing all of those things, because many times when we work with one person, that one person needs very specific needs. It might take you to a different direction than where you are going. And I love to build businesses with flow. So starting with sale, and I know there's a flow of sales that comes in, and I know that if I'm changing something in my presence online, in my marketing, in my landing pages, I can see if the flow goes down or up. Once I work only with those, get a sale, I don't see flow. So I don't know if I'm doing something wrong, if there's some problem in my marketing or in my systems or in my, I don't know, presence or anything. Like, is there a problem or is it just time that is weighted? And the flow is really important in order to create this system of tweaks and improvements.
Now, I would like to add to this, the nervous system part is very important. We had many clients coming to us who came from high VIP to not having anything coming for months. And please feel free to share in the chat if you can relate. You have one client here, nothing happens. One client here, you sell 5K, 10K, 3K, and then nothing happens. And this is called hope marketing. We hope, but we don't have control. We don't have control because we don't have an email list. We don't have any ways to communicate. We don't have the systems. We don't have anything. So it feels like I am not in control of my business. How does it feel when you have only one-on-one clients like this? I'll give you an example. One woman that came to us, she created this amazing, super high level VIP offer. The problem was that nobody was buying it. Her profiles, her messaging, everything did not match her new very high offer. So of course, she's feeling very stressed. She has no clients. Or other clients who came to us who were, I sold one time 10,000, they feel good. I sold 20,000 one time, they feel good. And then there is nothing for months. And you're so scared to lose this one client. You don't have communication. You don't know what's going on. You don't know what your clients need anymore because you don't talk to your clients. You talk to one client. So you lose contact with people if you have only one client, or if you have 5 clients and if you have 10 clients. I met this woman a couple of years ago. She was having, I think she was doing like nine clients spots like in the week. She was just filling up her schedule one after one, and she grew her business to 200, 300,000 euros. And she was stuck in delivery. She had zero time to do anything else. She was making so much money that she created a golden cage for herself of, I'm making the money, but I have no time to do anything else. And if I stop, everything stops. So I lose all my income. If she gets sick for a month, if she gets pregnant and wants to take the time for 9 months to be with her kids, she cannot do that. There's no way for her. If she wants to create a new project, she wants to build her house, she wants to care for, she has no space, no control. And at some point, when you build yourself into one coaching like this, you end up feeling like you don't have your energy anymore in yourself. You're constantly thinking about other people. Like in your mind, and I remember that when a couple of years ago, in the summer, I stopped for a second doing one-on-one coaching, and I felt, wow, I can hear myself again. Like I am in my body, I'm in my energy. Because when you work with so many people so deeply, so intimately, you lose the connection with yourself. You lose the connection with your knowledge, your method, your vision, because you're building other people's. You're focusing more on them because they're paying you more money also. You're scared to lose them because you have a couple of clients. So you forget yourself. You forget what you really are about.
Right. Let's talk about the different hats that we have as coaches, as delivery experts.
Yeah, so let's ease into this VIP coaching. How do we create this? Before we start looking at the details of the logistics, let's look at how you can approach it. Because we talk about VIP coaching, but we have to remember it's not always the same for every client, but it's also not the same depending on your personality. If you are having someone coming to you for this period of time, 3-4 months, we'll talk more about it in a second, you might have the hat of the coach. And sometimes coach means I am listening. I am asking the right questions. I am using the coaching techniques to help you to by yourself figure out what you need. So it's much more in the listening space than in the, I'm going to give you the answers. There are moments when you might be more a consultant. So you have, for me, for instance, it's a very easy access for me consulting to help someone to build a strategy, to give the plan. I love the consulting part where I give advice. This is what you can do in this state. I take the hat of the mind and I help them. That is very common if you are doing business coaching or if you're doing something more logical. But it can also be if you are more of someone that is good to give advice and that you have proven frameworks to help in any area, relationships, health, nutrition, sexuality, voice development, doesn't matter. But you have a natural skill to help people to get advice, take the advice, and make a change. You're good at that. You might also be more a trainer. This has happened to me in the first years when I was doing coaching. What I thought was the coaching, I was more a trainer because I had no material to give to my one-on-one clients. And they were asking me, how do I do this? How do I do that? And I was not recording anything. I was not creating any videos, any PDFs, nothing. So I was teaching. The trainer, I became a teacher. So I said, okay, you need this information and I don't have it anywhere. And I cannot teach you this because it's an important part of what we are doing together. So I need to teach you. So I had sessions when I was a trainer. And this was very common when I did not have a group program, when I didn't have material. I had more trainer. And then the mentor is lived experience. You have done things in your life. You have experienced personal experience, life experience, business experience, different things, and you bring everything. You bring all the tools, but you also bring the confidence that I am not scared for you. I know you're going to be okay. It feels like the world is going down. Sometimes the sessions are like that. Yeah, someone is going through a big up leveling. I have been there and I know that this is scary, but you're going to be okay. And sometimes you're more of one. Sometimes it's because of the period in your business that you are more a trainer if you don't have material, maybe a consultant, maybe coach, maybe mentor. And sometimes your clients need all the hats. So many times when I do one-on-ones or when we do it together, Barak is naturally really good at coaching. I am growing my coaching. This is my skill that I'm developing right now. My natural is much more consultant. But the one that I love the most is mentor. The more experience I have, the more I'm a mentor. I come to the session and I am a mentor because now with more than 10 years of experience in business, I have so many stories. But sometimes it's not even that. I had the client coming to us for public speaking, building her business, everything. And in the meantime, she was going through a divorce. In the meantime, she was developing her own feminine leadership, developing who she was. And I had to put everything aside for a second to be a mentor in how do you find yourself after a long relationship? How do you find your power? What happens when you're afraid to be more successful than your husband? Like all those questions about the mindset. And this was mentorship. This was from experience. So the thing you will have to remember that the more you're a mentor, the more you will be paid for VIP coaching. Because the more experience you gain, the more you can help to be a coach, consultant, trainer, mentor. And when you can combine all the four, this is where you're going to be able to go from I'm a teacher, I'm a coach, I have the certificate, to I am a mentor and I'm unique because of all the range of my experiences. So when I do a retreat, we do tantra retreats, we do singing lessons, we learn languages. Anything I do, I put that into my mentor box because I never know what will be helpful for my client. When I do work on my shadow work or spiritual work, my work for myself, in the VIP sessions, many times it comes out because this is exactly what they need for a personal life. So this is just to give you the range, and I would love to see in the chat which ones are you more comfortable with, which one are you mostly using, and which ones do you want to grow into. If you can share a bit. And I would love to hear, Barak, which ones are yours?
Yeah, as you said, I think coach and mentor. Training, I love to do more in group sessions so it can be recorded. It's a bit awkward to record in a one-on-one session for training. So training, I love to record either in advance or with group. And consultancy, I'm exceptionally good at, but I don't enjoy so much because I feel like when I'm building things, when I'm opening things and actually building and sitting, I like to do it for my business and not for other people's businesses. And I want to talk a little bit about The coach goes a little more towards also the question of how much accountability are you giving your client? When I worked with my mentor, in the contract, she said, I am not here for accountability. If you need accountability coach, you need to hire a separate accountability coach. So that's another little difference between the coach and the mentor is in the mentor position, you can be much more of an inspiration and you're not necessarily expected to check in with them every 2 days if they're doing the work or how is their progress. I see Anna loves consulting and mentor can be consulting as well, trainer. Beautiful cappuccino, mentor, and that's what I prefer. Nice.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And I would like to add here, I invite you to take one of those hats and develop. If you feel comfortable with mentorship, maybe you want to explore how would that look like if I would also go more into the consulting part. Because the more you can be in different hats for the same client, the more you can help them. Because I need to use all my 4 hats for each client. And the more I can be flexible, the more I can give them the support they need. So for me, for instance, I am developing and listening to books too, and really looking at how can I practice this. I practice that in many meetings, social meeting all the time. I'm practicing coaching. I'm practicing really stepping to the coach and listening to the consultant. So be a bit curious. I invite you to be curious to develop all the 4.
Alrighty. So let's talk about the transitioning into this VIP journey, into getting to talk to VIP clients. So usually the old way or what we see in the market of coaches going through, and this journey can take years for a coach to develop, is going from hourly sessions of I charge 35 or 70 or 100 or 150 per hour. And then moving from hourly sessions to hourly package. Okay, Sela, 4-hour packages or a 6-hour package or a 3-hour package. And then the next transition is to go towards something that is more of a coaching package. It's 3-month coaching, which is similar to the hourly package. It's not framed as package. It's framed as coaching, but it is not really packaged in any way. It's just time coaching, 3-month coaching, 3-month whatever. And then there is this VIP journey. Then there is this beautifully built offer that is around a journey for a client in the VIP way. And what we want to suggest here is the new way of skipping those two in the middle, skipping those which are not really helpful for the client or for you, and go directly from hourly to VIP journey, or going from a group program, then upselling to a hybrid of someone in the group also doing one-to-one, one-on-one sessions. You want to speak to that?
Yeah. So the big difference between 3 months coaching and VIP journey, just to be a bit more clear on that, is when you give 3 months and you do 1 session per week, or you do 1 session 2 times per month, and you only do the sessions, you don't give any support in between, there's nothing around, there's no glue, then you still are selling hours because the client only sees the hours. What we want to create is that we take away the feeling that you're selling hours and you're selling presence. I am going to be with you for 4 months. I'm going to live with you in your pocket. You and I, we are on a team. I'm on your team. I'm on the team of your team. If they have assistants or they have their own team, I am together with you. We are doing this. I usually tell our clients, VIP clients, we are doing life together. The difference between one-on-one coaching, because you have a couple of, okay, we do 1 hour session, 1 hour session, you're still selling hours. The clients that I remember working with, VIP clients, when I started selling at 18,000 or higher clients, they don't really care about the sessions anymore. they care about knowing that they have you in their pocket. They know that they can send me a WhatsApp message anytime. I'm always there for them. We'll talk about some boundaries, yeah. But the feeling is I am doing life with you. And I sometimes feel like I have more connection with our VIP clients because I really love them. I really choose them to work with them. We choose each other. It's a choice because I'm going to spend more time with them than with my mother. I know more about my family. I speak less than with our VIP clients. And I love our family. Sometimes, maybe even Barack. It's just this feeling that I live with these people and I love it. And what I wrote, you have me in your pocket. Yes, it's this presence. But this is the difference that I want you to think about in the mindset shift, that you choose each other. This is why we have to price that you say, okay, this is worth my time, but also I want to do this with you. It's a two-way combination. Yeah.
Okay. Now let's talk about the mindset in VIP coaching, the mindset that is natural and what we should see. So the first thing is don't overwhelm them with information. And in this comes the concept of less is more. So you start charging much higher than you charged before. You start moving from a group context or from one-on-one into selling a package that feels maybe scary to say the price. And it should feel a little bit scary to say the price, because if it doesn't, it means you need to start raising the prices at a certain point. And then we start to feel like we need to overgive, to give more information, to do more. And that's just going to overwhelm your client. That's just going to make it heavy for them. And they might feel, oh my God, I'm overwhelmed. This is too much for me. I don't feel good. And I love the saying that people remember how you made them feel. First and foremost, your clients will remember how they felt in the session. Did they feel good in the session, or did they feel anxious and worried and overwhelmed? That's really important to remember. Make sure they feel good in the session, that they get out of the session and they feel energized and they feel wow and they feel expansion.
And I would like just to, because we've been going for a while, I would like you just to take 1 minute to stretch and just before we continue, because we have some really beautiful things that we are going through today, just stretch for a second, just stretch your body and breathe a bit. Maybe stand up for a second. You want, before we continue, shake it. Just move your shoulders. Get some, just 1 minute, just a quick one.
Deep breath in.
Stretch. And I want to see some stretching.
Yeah.
And stretch your shoulders. We are doing some beautiful things. Your mind needs some oxygen. And I would love, before we continue, what has been the most helpful so far? Can you share in the chat? Is the big aha, something that you want to take already that you're learning? And I want to continue stretching. When you start stretching, it just feels so good. What's your biggest takeaway?
Overwhelm the potential clients in the sales calls, not even in the sessions already, but in the sales call.
Big aha.
Yeah.
Amazing. I choose my clients. Oh, yeah.
Doing life together, the 4 hats.
Not
the
too
last
much.
point about not too much information.
Brilliant. You're going to love this session. This section, the doing life together. Yeah, it's so nice. I mean, when you finish with a client, VIP client, it just feels, it's so much love.
A journey instead of a package, yes.
Yes, beautiful.
Okay, let's continue.
Yeah, this one is my favorite in so many ways, because when we understand we don't need to give so much information, and we'll also see how you can give even less, it's all about presence. It really is all about presence. They're paying for your presence. Because when they come to, in their life, especially if they are high achievers, leaders, they're making money, they have a lot of things going on, what they miss the most is someone being present and really seeing them. How many times do you have someone that can just be there with you and care for you, really care for you for 3-4 months? And what I like to do, and this is what, when I started VIP coaching, I was meditating 1 hour before and 1 hour after, before the sessions. I wanted to be so present that when I came, I was open and I was ready to be clean. So I am there. And if you think about masculine, feminine energy, I am the masculine. I am the clean vessel that is there to receive whatever they are going through, whatever they need, and guide them. So it's both receiving, if they're overwhelmed, stressed, they're doing something big. Many times when you work with VIP clients, they're doing a mega up leveling and they're going through a shift. So you need to hold them. And it's really about being able to hold the space for wherever is coming through and hearing what they need between the lines. So sometimes I had clients coming in and they were looked so tired. And they would be looking and said, you know what? I'm sending you home. Like, you're not going to have a session. They said, yeah, let's go. I said, no, I see you. What you need right now is to step back and care for yourself. And they say, nobody's giving me the permission to do that. I said, I don't need to give you the permission. You need to give yourself the permission. But sometimes that's what they need. Sometimes they need to be shaken. And it's not, it's tough love. Sometimes it's more motherly love. Sometimes it's more the tough love of step up. This is enough. Let's go. So you need to be able to read between the lines.
And let's put a star here of generosity. You should be generous with them. So when Daria says she sends them home, it's not that she sends them home, let's meet next week, but let's reschedule for tomorrow or in 2 days.
Yeah. And then check in with them and see how they're feeling. But, sometimes they said, I remember doing case studies with them after with some clients, and they said, what's beautiful about your way of VIP coaching is that you read between the lines. You really can listen to what's going on in my life, because they are not just business owners or they're not just mothers. They have so many hats in their life, and you need to understand which hat need their attention right now, so you can really care for their human. Above all, care for what there really is going on for them. And another thing I just want to add to intuition. I really work with intuition, because when you work with someone so intimately for 3-4 months, you hear messages and you start to think. And many times when we lived in Thailand, I will go to the massage place and have a massage, take the time off on Sunday. And suddenly I just understood something. And I send them a message and say, hey, something came to me and my intuition is telling me this. And they say, you know what? This is really true. So it's listening on such a deep level. This is why you only take on 3 to 5 clients, but you are there to see what they don't see. You expand their vision. You see their blockages. You are going so deep. And the presence comes from having the spaciousness in your schedule to really care for them. It's a really beautiful work that you do together. And you are going to plan. I like to plan in advance, especially when I am more working in the strategic approach of preparing something big together. But there's going to be change. At the moment, with our VIP client, we are preparing for a very big event. And last week, she was going through a lot of things in her, stressed and nervous and imposter, and every level it comes up. So it was a coaching session. We stopped everything in the plan of preparing and we did coaching. We worked on her human. We cared for her, what she needed. And then this week, we are back to strategy. So you need to be flexible for change. You need to be understanding that maybe I planned something, but they are not in the state of doing this work. So maybe we need to do something. And sometimes the opposite. Yeah.
Great. Okay, now let's talk about your setup, about how you show up in the sessions. And it's really important. I think the most important thing in a live session online is the audio, more important than anything, which means having a good microphone. Or if you have, we both have the MacBook Air, and the MacBook microphone is great. And one thing that is life-changing in terms of online sessions is this little one. Where is it? Crisp. This one. Can't see it here, but crisp audio. Here it is. It's in a magical way. It's starts in the beginning of the session. And if you're not using it and you're in a place where there are some background noises, it's really impressive. So you can be in a coffee place or if there's other people speaking, it's a bit more intense sometimes. But if there's background noises or planes or cars or stuff like that, you just don't hear anything, and it improves the quality of the sound. Yeah. And now I notice it was not on, but just so you see the difference, now it's on and I'm hitting the table. Now it's on, I'm hitting the table, and now I'm turning it off. I keep the same hitting the table and I'm turning it on again. And probably I'm not using it on Zoom. Let's see. Yeah, crisp microphone. Can you write in the chat if you heard the difference?
It's incredible.
Great. Okay, back to our presentation. Okay. So microphone, good audio, and then video, good background. So if you have, maybe if you're not in a background where you want to present, if you're like, I don't know, in a hotel room and you have a bed or something like that, you can put a virtual background, maybe with a logo or maybe something that looks good and good lighting. So don't be in a too dark place, and make sure that the background is also lit. That's important. So you don't seem like you're in some cave. That's really makes a big difference. And presence. How do you dress? How do you show up? How do you, like, you ladies put makeup and make sure that you come super presentable and on time, and then a few minutes before the time. So they know always, okay, you're there in the moment that it starts.
And I want to add to this professionalism. Many times, if you worked in corporate and you were wearing a suit, you feel like, oh, I don't want to. But there's something about presence. And if you work with clients who are working in corporate, they're working in leadership, they're working in certain environments, you want to be closer to them. So if you live, some of you live in tropical islands and it's more relaxed, but there's something about being presentable, not because you need to be a certain way for them, but that you want to be a mirror. Because if they sit in the office and have a meeting with you and you are sitting in a cafe with your phone and you're wearing some beach things, they don't feel that you really care for them. So it's more about, not about how superficial we are, but that there's a question about care. I care for you. I care showing up, sitting, being in good conditions. I care how to be presentable. You don't need to wear makeup. You don't need to dress up in a way that it's not you, but there's something about showing to them, I care about creating the best conditions for you. And I'm stepping into my role as the mentor coach for you right now. And this is not just me being on my phone, like create the conditions. And this is something that I learned very early on, be professional, not in only the delivery, but also in the setup. And it will really elevate you to work with these clients it's not coming from a place of, I'm not good enough, but how can I step into this new role? Someone is paying me 10,000 euros. Maybe they're paying 1,000 euro per hour. I want to give my best. So I want to be able to really meet them and show them that I care. So take it with that intention. When I heard first time, be professional, I got angry. I said, I'm doing everything. I'm coaching, I'm training it. And my client told me, I don't want you to do more things in the delivery. I want you to take an Airbnb, to take a hotel and not Airbnb. I want you to take the taxi when you come to my meetings. This was a very high executive director. He said, I want you to be in the best conditions when you come to my session with me. He was such a great client. It was one of my first clients, VIP clients. And that was an opening for me. So I started to take Ubers. I started to get laundry lady, cleaning lady, anything that could help me to be present, to show up, to create the best conditions. Take an extra room. So I have an office space in the bedroom. So I don't work. What can I do to create? Not doing it in the cafe. That's the worst. If you're doing it cafe, this is not showing the respect for the client in not being able to create the best conditions, right? If you don't have the choice, of course, sometimes we travel. But even if you go to a cafe, can you go to a hotel lounge? What can you do? Can you instead of being in the co-working space, can you take an office space within the co-working space? If someone is paying you 100, 500, 1,000 euros per session, you can pay for an office room in the co-working space so you have the good conditions to call if you travel. So I want to insist on this one. It's professional in the way of I treat myself as a professional. I treat myself as a businesswoman, as a mentor, as I know what I have is valuable, and I'm going to create the best conditions for me to do my work. Okay?
Now let's talk about the imposter syndrome. And it's in bold here. You can't avoid it. And it's more than can't avoid it. It's you should be feeling some form of up-leveling, like we said before. So there will be some form of imposter syndrome. You are constantly up-leveling the clients you work with from now till the end of your coaching career. So it will always feel a little bit scary to go and work with the next level of clients. So remember that it's always going to feel like an imposter. You're always going to feel a little bit like an imposter. And that's great. That's okay. What to do with imposter syndrome is just tell yourself, it's good that I'm feeling this imposter syndrome. Accept it. You can even be open and vulnerable with this client and say, wow, actually, I'm excited to work with you. It really excites me. I love what you do. I admire your work.
And energetically, what I remind myself when someone comes into our world and I feel, wow, this person is so impressive and they want to work with us. Energetically, I believe that if they come to me, I am an energetic match for them. On that energetic frequency, I am already ready because the universe will not give me more than I can handle. I know that I am ready and I'm good enough, and I'll remind myself that I'm gonna do my best, and my best is already good enough. My best is more than good enough. And if they are here, they see me in my power. They see what I'm capable of. If they came to me and they said, I want to work with you, they see something maybe that I doubt, but if they see it, I'm already on the frequency. So that means I just need to relax. I just need to be present. I don't need to learn anything else. And I just need to show up for them. And if there's something that is not working, we have time to evaluate that.
Let's talk about the how. Talked about why VIP coaching, why do those programs, and then a bit of the details of the what to do. Now let's go into the real details of the how. And we can look at it in two ways. The first way is like the session that we had about offers, which was the how, the details here in terms of the roadmap structure, the support, and then the more details of the price, the guarantee, the scarcity, what deal they're getting, and so on. If you didn't watch this session about selling your offer, I very much recommend it. And here it's pretty much the same, but a bit more towards specifically the VIP. So in terms of the length, not too long, not too short. You don't want to be stuck with someone you don't enjoy working with or has some sour face that after that for the whole day you feel sour faced yourself for a year or for 6 months. So it's good to start. And if you don't want to do a VIP container with someone for 1 month or 2 months, because you want to have some traction time. You want to have this space to lift off together. You don't want to have it too short of a runway. So 3 months is a good starting point.
And don't tailor that for each person. I want to insist on that. You say, okay, but this person wants 2 months. Person wants 5 months. This person wants 6 months. You're going to get tired. Give them 3 months and you say, okay, you want to work with me for longer? Let's start with 3 months and let's start and reevaluate. It's much better to start with 3 months or 4 months with some time to integrate, but at exact same time of amount of sessions. And then after that, you say, okay, let's look now if we want to continue. Maybe you don't want to continue with us after 3 months because that happens. Or maybe they feel like, actually, yeah, I really want to continue. So keep it to the same length. If you start to tailor to each person, you're going to be very tired because you need to create new offers for each person. Okay.
Now, a beautiful thing that you can add that makes you more spacious and makes them feel that they're receiving more is add integration weeks, which means, hey, let's work together instead of 3 months for 4 months. You don't need to say it instead, but you give them the 4 month container, and every last week of the month is a month off. It's an integration week. So they still have your support, but you don't have the call. You don't have this live call, which means you know that you can go off for a week every month, and you don't need to have your video and camera set up, and you don't need to have this amazing, incredible internet connection and anything, but you can go and spend your time in a van on the beach in Portugal for a week. And you align all of your clients in that way too. You can align your group program also to that. So you can have a week on a month with no calls at all. And that's really helpful for your spaciousness, for their spaciousness also. And yeah, it balances things, and they eventually get more. They get 4 months with you, even though it's the same number of calls. In terms of pricing, so as we said, it should be around between twice or 3 times the price of the program. So if your program is priced 2.5K, the price can be 5K, 7.5K, or up to 10K, for example, for the VIP clients. In terms of how you raise the prices, it's parallel to how you raise the price of your program. Although, let's say you have a program for 1.5K and you work with more and more clients and the program is growing and your VIP slots are starting to be full. So you have, let's say, 2 or 3 VIP slots for 3K, then they're full. And then someone new comes to work with you. You can say, my VIP is 5K. Or then you can raise it to 7K or 10K. Even though the price of the program, you don't want to play around with it too much. You want to keep it on 1.5K. And then you can have this more discrepancy between what is the price of your program and how much more it is to work with you on VIP. And when they work with paid in full, it should be cheaper than working with installments. Because sometimes installments don't go through, and there is maybe some work on Stripe to create the installments, or the cash injection, let's say, of having everything paid in full, someone paying you now 5K in full, will help you lift and elevate your business much better. It creates cash flow for you, and that is valuable. So installments can always be added, let's say 10 to 20% more. Anything about pricing?
No,
Great.
flow is very important. Yeah, fill your spots before you take it up. You rather want to say, okay, I'm going to fill, let's say Nael is charging 1.5 for her group. Fill the spots at 3,000, 5 spots at 3,000. You fill the spots, now you can go up to 5,000. Fill those spots at 5,000, now you can go up to 7.5. Fill those. So you go up. You don't jump to 20,000 and then you wait for 6 months and nothing happens. Yeah. So you want to build and you can choose. I like to think 3 to 5. Sometimes I have more spaciousness for 5. Right now, honestly, I don't want to spend too much time with one-on-one clients because I really want to focus on this group. So I say, okay, 3 spots, 3 spots Barak, it's okay, but not 5. If I will have 5, I will not be focusing on developing this group program. And I really want to focus on this right now. So you have to choose how much is it important? Do you need the cash injection? Do you have the space for that? How is your business going for the group? And you can then decide how many spots, but be very intentional on the length and the price. So you create flow.
Now, the format of the calls is, let's say you do the weekly calls, don't make them too long. You don't want to be tired yourself and you don't want to tire your client. And sometimes a shorter call means more focus, means more intentionality. So best is keeping it to 1 hour, 1 hour and 15 minutes, 60 to 75 minutes, and offer them to record the call. So as you have the Zoom account, you can tell them, hey, record the call. So you don't need to also, after that, send them the recording. You want to minimize the work that is not helpful for them. If they record the call, they already have it on their side, which is great. Now, adding support such as WhatsApp support with specific office hours and conditions. So yes, you're in my pocket all the time, but I don't check my phone on my weekends. You're in my pocket all the time, but I allow myself to take 24 hours to respond. That's really important so you don't get stressed and you don't feel like you are now enslaved in this contract. You keep yourself in the spaciousness, you keep yourself in this presence of yours, which is first and foremost in all of this VIP concept. You come first. You are here to be you. You are here to celebrate life and to grow and to be with your family and to be with your friends first and foremost. And remember that.
And Monday to Thursday, our philosophy is that we want to have 4 hours work weeks, not 5-hour work weeks. And it's what we want.
4-day work weeks.
4-day work weeks. Yeah. Monday to Thursday. Fridays are off. So even in this program, we don't do feedback on Fridays. Fridays is for you. You can implement, you can do anything or take time off. The goal is that you are 4 days per week in the business. Then you can take it down more if you want. And 3 days you have for yourself. Or you do something else. Or you say, Fridays is my business day. I work on myself, or on learning, I'm implementing, not in someone else's business. So it's the same for the VIP clients. This is how we design our program, and we inspire you to do the same. And it'll be very funny. There's a small funny story. When I did this in a previous group program, on Fridays, I used to say, what's your Friday celebration? And nobody replied to me. And I said, what's going on? No one is replying to my Friday celebration. They said, but Daria, you said to us not to work on Fridays and we don't check Slack on Fridays. And I said, oh my God, okay, I have to stop doing Friday celebration. We need to do Thursday celebrations. I think this is what we also have to do here now. That's the goal, that you are creating a philosophy of, I'm not here to work 5 days a week. I'm not here to answer off after 6 p.m. I'm not answering my phone. On weekends, I'm not answering my phone. I'm not there on Fridays. You already know that. You already get access to me. When I'm there, I'm there. But when I'm not there, I'm not going to be there.
Yeah. You can go forwards towards moving from 5 to 4 days per week and actually doing that. Or you can be like, where is it? Greece, who now introduced the 6-day work week, and it's going back in time. It's not necessarily good.
Not more productive.
Now, I came from iTech and then having a tech company, having a tech startup, and from all the bro marketing worlds where it's all about hustle and sales and hustle and sales. And when I met Daria and I started to attend or watch programs like Melanie and Layer's program and female-oriented programs, and I love the concept of having a Queen's Day, a divine Queen's Day on Fridays or something like that, and actually going and being in the spa the whole day once a week. And I noticed that there was so much resistance in me to do that, but the outcome, the effect of that is tremendous on your presence, on your ideas, or your expansion. You get out of the specific day-to-day for a moment, and you can see way further in your building. Sharing.
This is a simple, because sometimes I hear people doing VIP say, wow, I need the whole system. It's really simple. You need the Calendly link to set up the calls with them. I can add this. I like to give them access to a private Calendly link. They can plan in the session the whole month in ahead. We can add this. It's a 75 minutes VIP session. I have 2 days a week, not the whole week. I think it's the same weeks we do these calls. And they can plan 4 weeks in advance. So that way they can reschedule themselves. They can also keep themselves. And I can also see, okay, they book that in. It's a very easy way. So Calendly, private link, VIP sessions, they block themselves in. You don't need to manage back and forth. It's very simple and very flexible for them. Second thing is I like to give them a Drive folder with their name and they have access. So that way I like to write notes. It helps me to think. So I write notes during the session and they have access to that. They can put anything they want me to. If they want to have some feedback on something, or if they want to share something, they can do that. They can also put any recordings or meditations or any documents within the space. I would not advise doing Slack channels for each person. I've tried that and becomes too much information, too much. Like when you have just the WhatsApp plus a Drive folder, it's easier for them not to go to send all your documents and all the things. So it's a good way to give them access, but also not to get stuck into managing the company on Slack. Okay. Or this is for business. Yeah. Business development. So for you, it's going to be more about maybe giving them meditations or giving them resources or giving them some practices or documents. All the informational part you can put in the individual. I have P, the name of the client, VIP, and they have access to that folder. Very simple.
Some useful things that you can use is maybe a Google Sheet so they can track their progress. So you are accountable for them, but not in the way of actually actively constantly checking in with them, but they have where to track their progress. If it's a meditation or an exercise that they need to do, if it's a checklist of companies to reach out or to prepare their documents for the next interview, if it's their talk within their relationship or their exercises that they should do. So they have where to track those things. And then you can put the exercises or checklist or anything that might help them in the same place.
And this is the important one. Give them access to the group program. Be generous. I've spoken with clients who were isolated. They said, I did one-on-one coaching, but I did not have access to the group. I didn't have access to the mastermind. I didn't have access to anything, and they had to pay extra. And I feel this is your clients. You want to treat them like stars. You want to give them all access, even if you put up the price, rather than everything. Give them all the information, all the group program access, anything that you do, they are all in. Like they are the VIP experience. Yeah. And it's important because otherwise they feel isolated. They feel like I'm alone with you, with one-on-one client, and you are having a lot of fun with all these people, but I don't get to play. And I'm paying you a lot of money for this. So this is an extra bonus. And what you will remember is that guide them through the resources. Tell them, you have access. You don't need to come. You have access. I love that our VIP clients know that they can come, and I can tell them, hey, this session is going to be really good for you. Or this is going to be amazing. Or check out these resources. So we can guide them, but they don't need to be in the coaching every day. And this has been also very good for our group program clients because they meet our VIP clients. And then there's this connection. Like they're learning from each other. They can share the experiences. There's such a beautiful co-elevation with them being involved in the group program in some way. Okay. I would love just before finish with the last part for today. What are you taking away from these sections? What can you improve in terms of in terms of length, pricing, format, sharing, bonus access? What can you already implement in your one-on-one VIP programs? Take a second to stretch and breathe.
Everything. But all of this for me is great inspiration for group program. Great.
Amazing.
Duna.
Awesome.
1 call per week. And
Yes.
I want to implement the independent Calendly option. Not sure I fully got it though. So have a Calendly option, which is VIP.
Private
or
link.
specific for that person. Use more Calendly. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, let's continue to. I think this is the last part of today.
Yeah. Okay. The process. So let's look at this. So basically, what we're looking at now is the process of a client comes into your world, and there is the onboarding, there's the program, and then there is the offboarding. And in the offboarding, it can go either to graduation call, and then let's get a case study from that person. And it can go into continuation, which means either upsell them for a longer container, higher price, or a VIP day. They come and meet you in person for 1 day or 2 days or 3 days, and you do deeper work, or downsell them to the group program. So you have a group program running and they want to stay in your world, but maybe not in the one-on-one anymore. So you can downsell them to be in the group program. or actually go for the second cycle in the same price. Even maybe if you raised your prices, since because now all of your slots are full, you can say, hey, you can stay in another cycle for 3 more months or 4 more months with the same price point, which is great. Now, let's talk about this. In the onboarding, they join, we say, okay, let's have a welcome call. And this is what I want you to think, perhaps even more things, but this is the important stuff that you can put in your welcome call. First and foremost is to look forwards. I love vision. I love vision work. I love anything about stepping out and looking forwards, because that allows us to align what we're doing in the next 90 days, in the next 6 months, in the next 12 months. Let them see themselves in the 3-year range, 1 to 3 to 5 years range, depends on your preference, and help them pump it up, help them expand that. So maybe they say, wow, okay, I have this state that I want to be in 3 years. And you can say, okay, how can you expand that? What if you go into this what if version of yourself, into the field of potentiality, and be the person who upscales their vision, because that will massively impact the results of what you do in 90 days. So after you have this beautiful vision painted out, you can go into this more strategic, specific now of 90 days plan. What are we going to do together in the next 3 months? What is realistic? What are the realistic goals that we can set for our meetings together? And make sure that it's realistic and not overwhelming. Make sure that you have goals that are exciting, but not stressful. And also intentions. What are the intentions that you have together? What is maybe beyond the goals? How will working together be? All of that you save in the Drive folder so you can later reference it back and they can see, and that's very helpful. And also set the expectations. A client who has good understanding of your expectations will always be much happier and much more satisfied and much more raving fan of yours telling their friends to go and work with you than someone who doesn't know what are the expectations. So you always can surpass the expectations, but if the expectations are not there, you might disappoint because you don't know what are they expecting and they don't know what you are expecting from them also. Anything else about the welcome call?
That's great.
All right. So now the program itself. A great thing is to work in 6-week cycles, which is long enough to build progress. It's great to divide instead of working for 3 months together now. No, we're going to do 6 weeks. Then we reevaluate, we see, we think, we build together, and we do another 6 weeks. What are the keywords for each cycle? What is the projects that you're going to work with? So let's say you work with a woman and you say, in the next 6-week cycles, our big keyword is boundaries, for example. So it's all about that. And the project is maybe boundaries in this context, or maybe listening to yourself, or maybe expanding your exercises, or reaching out of your comfort zone in reaching out to this or that, and so on.
And just to add to the keywords, when you have your method for your group program and your 3 shifts, you can also use one of the shifts as one of the cycles. Many times they are going to be the same.
Now, keep it flexible. So like Daria shared before, with someone coming in stressed to the session and, okay, maybe there's something else that we need to work on. That's okay. That's good. That's why you're there. And that's why they're not in a rigid, specifically structured program, but you can reevaluate with them and shift. But make sure that you also shift the projects around that so you don't add too much information again and fall into the over delivery and stressing yourselves. But you can say, hey, okay, I see that you are struggling with this topic now. So let's do a little shift in our plan let's do a little shift in our progress because this will elevate you much more. Now, make sure that it's measurable so you can ask them how they are in specific measurable points where you need to find their currency. You need to find what is the currency we're talking about. Is it confidence? Is it excitement? Is it happiness? Is it money? So you can show them a progress from where they started to the 6-week cycle, and then maybe to the end of the program. You can show them that there is actually progress. They will fill in, okay, how happy are you in your relationship right now from 1 to 10? Okay, 4. How confident are you finding your next position in a new company now from 1 to 10? Wow, 2. And then you can remeasure that every cycle, and that feels like progress. Anything about that?
I
No?
think it's great.
Great.
And maybe just a small detail about you have to know if it's really urgent or if it really is something that you need to stop the cycle for, or if it's something just maybe one session will be enough and you can continue the cycle because you are the one in the direction and leadership. And sometimes you can say, I know this is a priority, but this can wait to the next cycle. Let's put it as a next cycle. Or I know this is a priority. Let's just do this session and then come back to our original plan. You are there to keep them in clarity and direction. It's very important for them to feel safe. They don't need to tailor and create their own program. It's the worst thing that can happen. What should we do today? And they say, I don't know. You are here to help me. So you need to remember the welcome call and remember the goals of the cycles so you can really direct them towards a specific outcome together.
Nice. All right, now the offboarding. So as we said, you can go for a graduation call, and then you can invite them to a case study meeting where they share their experience. And Daya recorded a beautiful training about that, which is here, client success stories on how to build the case studies, what to ask, where to put them. Go ahead and look at that later. And so that's one avenue. The next avenue is to keep working with them. Now, a great tip here is don't do the continuation sale, whether it's a VIP day, 6 months, group program, same price, on the final call. Because when a person comes to the final call, they have in their mind, I don't know if you ever participated in something like that, but you have in your mind in the last call, okay, are they going to try to keep me in the program? Do I want to stay in the program? Do I not want to stay in the program? That they come with a lot of either defenses or confusion or uncertainty about that. And then the final call becomes a lot about that. So take it one call earlier and talk about the continuation one call earlier. So you can say in the call before the last, hey, I noticed that in the next call, that's your last call. So how about we build a vision from here to where we can work next? So it doesn't feel like just continuing in the same path, but actually let's build your vision, whether with me or without me, so you can know where you're going and where to implement. And it puts them in a place of being led. They don't feel like, okay, it's the last call. What's going to happen now? They don't come to the session with this uncertainty, but instead you bring it up in the call before last.
And the way you can phrase it also is, we have the next call coming up, and the way I will organize these 2 last sessions will be different depending on if we continue or not. If we are ending this contract, then I would like us to start to wind down and make sure that you have everything completed and that you know what to do next. And if you feel like we are in the middle of that we continue like normal. You don't even need to have a graduation. You can just start a new welcome and like new 6-week cycle. And to help, you are the one building expanded vision. So you can also say, I honestly always check in and say, I think that you don't need us right now. It's time for you to be on your own. We don't want to create codependence in coaching. We want them to feel free in their own leadership. And there are moments to say, it's better that you fly off on your own and you do what you need to do. And we'll speak in 6 months, we'll speak later. And sometimes it is actually not good for the client because they are in the middle of something. And if they are, you can see that if they stop, it's going to actually be more difficult for them than to continue for another cycle. And in that sense, I will say, you know what? I really think that for you in the stage that you are in right now, it would make a lot of sense for us to continue because of this and that. And what I would love to work with you, if it would continue for another cycle, would be this to start with. So you bring the vision. So they don't have to think by themselves, oh my God, I don't know. But you can say, from your leadership, I think it's time for you to stop because we have done a good job and now it's integration time. Or I think it's a really good moment to continue. I really think that we are in the momentum and let's keep the momentum. Let's build this. Let's finalize the projects. Maybe sometimes you work with a bigger project. You're in the middle of a project and it makes no sense to finish.